We sure have a great show for you today, guys, and can't wait to get started. But first, here's your host, Romane Orlando Robb.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Romane Robb Show. My name is Romane Robb, and today I want to talk a bit about ancillary value. So basically ancillary, supplemental, it's outside of your primary, outside of the primary value you've created. And I want to talk about ancillary value in the context of in terms of being an employee. So I wrote this Medium article literally a couple minutes ago, where I went into depth about ancillary value and how I created ancillary value, how I utilized my ancillary value, I should say, at a previous employer. So basically, you have your primary job. Now, in the context of this, I was the data manager. So I was responsible for, data entries, keeping track of various finances from state, local, and federal agencies, and so on. So my primary job was that of a data manager. Now, the ancillary value but today I want to talk more about the ancillary value. And in terms of that is my ancillary value to the company was due to the fact that I had so many additional skills outside of my primary job that I was able to utilize to benefit the company. For example, I have a background in filmmaking, photography, video editing, marketing and branding, consulting, and I was able to utilize all those additional skills to benefit the company I was working for. And the kicker was I was not paid I wasn't paid anything extra to provide these services. Again, quite a few people are going to read that article and say, well, that's pretty stupid because you created so much value and you weren't compensated for it. And in truth be told, they would not be wrong, but I was not utilizing my ancillary value for financial compensation. I was using my additional skills because I have those skills. And that's pretty much why I use it to benefit the company. That's pretty much it. It wasn't like, oh, I have these skills, but if you want me to use them, you have to pay me. No, I just wanted to increase the value of the company if I could, and I did. I definitely did, because I look back on the company now, and a lot of my work, my ancillary value, a lot of the work that was created from my ancillary value is still embedded in the company. Their website, I worked on that, in terms of a web developer, due to the fact that I had a background in web development. In terms of graphic design, I revamped their logo. In terms of branding and marketing, I pretty much designed their new business cards. And what's even so interesting is that they were overpaying for a lot of their marketing materials, and I had to utilize, and again, this is like a multi-million-dollar company, but they had these partnerships with companies that were, in my eyes, overcharging them. So what I did was I utilized connections that I made working for my different ventures, and I ended up saving them even more money by letting them use some of my partnerships. So I think that's how smart employers should look at potential employees. What do you bring to the company besides your primary role? It's just like, oh, you're a software developer. Okay, great. Oh, I know Java. Oh, I know Spring. I know Spring Boot. I know React. I know Angular. Okay, but what else do you bring to the table? Because, like I also said in the article, if you type any of those programming languages or frameworks or libraries on LinkedIn, you're going to find thousands of people who claim to know these languages and frameworks and libraries. And even if you subtract 80% of those people, you're still left with a ton of people. So you're competing with a lot of people that you're competing with a lot of people with the same skill set as you, and in your mind, you're seeing that skill set as your competitive advantage. It's like, well, man, I know Java. I mean, I know Hibernate. I know Maven. Yeah, I'm a full stack developer. I mean, that's all I need. That's all I need, and I'll be fine. But the reality is, that's not all you need. If your goal is to actually add more value to the company than just that as a developer. Now, you're gonna have employees who don't really care about ancillary value, but you have to look at it as you have to look at it in terms of the employee. If you were the employer, what qualities would you look for in an employee besides what the primary role is going to be? Because the more value someone can bring to the table, the more valuable not only they are, but the more valuable the company they're working for can be, or most likely will be. Because, all right, again, going back to my experience, due to the fact that I was able to bring that much value to the company outside of my primary role, that drastically increased the value of the company. And I'm not exaggerating. I've seen the invoices of how much I used to pay this designer, this website developer, this videographer, and these are not pennies. These are not like small sums of money. These are like multiple thousands of dollars. So, and again, I didn't charge a penny for my for the ancillary value that I created, but it benefited the company greatly. So, what I'm trying to say is, find your ancillary value. Don't just be like, oh well, I'm a software developer. That's what I bring to the table. Again, you're competing with so many people, and if that's your only value, then you don't really have that much value. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, or I'm not trying to like hate on someone who considers himself to be like a super expert developer. But if your only value is that of coding, then I don't quite understand your competitive advantage. I mean, again, go to LinkedIn, type in your tech stack, and you'll see hundreds, if not thousands of pages of other so-called developers. Now, again, even if you eliminate 80 to 90% of that number, you're still competing with a pretty sizable amount of people. So find your ancillary value, find what you bring in addition to your primary role. So again, I've been fortunate to have the entrepreneur mindset. So I've been creating companies since I was 14, 15. And I've been so fortunate to learn so much from these various experiences. From wearing a multitude of hats, from experiencing success, experiencing failures. So when I look at a company, I look at it from the perspective as an employer and an employee, both sides of the table. I'm not just walking into an interview saying, hey, you want to hire a developer? I'm here. I'm looking at like, okay, so you want a developer, but I can also add value in these areas as well that would eventually benefit the entire company. Not just, oh, he added another developer and he's doing great with the dev team. No, it's like, oh, I added a developer who also knows marketing, also knows branding, also knows finance. So yeah, I'll be able to contribute a lot more than, a typical developer. So yeah, to close this out, find your ancillary value. Don't just stick to your core thing or what you think is your core thing. I guarantee you have other skills that you're not properly utilizing or exploring. And with that, I'll speak to you guys soon.
This has been a Robb Radio Network production. Check out our website at rrn.robbent.com. Thank you for listening.